What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, BeastModeSteven here, aka hashtag Kid from Miami, and I'm back with another lit, yes sir, lit topic, y'all. Welcome back, y'all, to Friday Night Topics, y'all. The first episode of 2026, y'all. Let's give it up, let's give it up, let's give it up. So, y'all, I'm excited because it's a new year. First episode of the year, y'all, and definitely what I'm going to get into because it's been a very sticky situation. Basically, how we start off the whole year, y'all. It's not like, a surprise to me because there's always a lot going on around the world, y'all. Not just, in the States, but overseas, Canada, like everywhere, y'all. There's always something going on. And, in my heart, I just felt like I had to touch up on this topic. Because the biggest problem in this world, y'all, when there's ever a situation that occurs, even though we weren't present for it, there's a lot of people that gives their feedbacks, that gives their, narratives on it. Either it's positive, either it's negative. And we always got something to say. And that's the biggest problem, is that we say things without even being there for the situation. What we rely on is videos. What we rely on is the word from the mouth. What we also rely on is what, media and also news outlets and all those brands, out there. We rely on their facts to just be like, okay, it's true. But we weren't even there, So when I look at the factors on a lot of situations that go on in the world, there's a deeper meaning into it. And the biggest thing is the fact that we always want to attack, people, when they do a lot of mistakes and a lot of situations that we weren't even present for. But we never thought about, damn, what if that was us in that situation? Because a lot of times we never put ourselves in a discomfort position to understand, what if that was us? How would we feel? Because we feel so comfortable when it's not the spotlight being on us. We feel so comfortable. The spotlight's not us, so we're gonna trash talk. We're gonna be negative. We're gonna basically not show our own skeletons. Because our own skeletons are still hiding in the closet, and that's the biggest problem in this world, is the fact that we always want to put ourselves higher than other people when they fall or when they do something wrong, and we think, oh, if something bad ever happens to us, it's not gonna happen, and we're not gonna feel discomfort. We're not gonna feel the same. And a lot of people think higher on themselves to think that's never ever gonna happen to them. There's a lot going on in this world, y'all. A lot. From ISIS, from deportation, from housing, from the government, doing sticky stuff underneath the table and all that. There's a lot going on in this world. And we feel like, oh, because when these situations occur, we should put our heads higher than the situation and then start, doing the worst, as if none of this could ever happen to us. You feel me? And that's why a lot of times we gotta stay humble. We gotta continue to have respect for one another. We have to continue to have that maturity and understand that in this life, once you're dead, it's not even gonna matter no more. Everything stays, but once you're dead, your spirit goes. If you're religious, you feel me? But tonight's topic that I'm gonna talk about is the situation in Minneapolis. And my reality check on it, y'all. So I'm gonna show the video. I'm gonna give y'all my input, and I'm gonna tell you, no surprises. I'm gonna say 2 wrongs don't make it right. So let that sink in, and let's get into this amazing episode, y'all. If you're a new watcher, please subscribe, hit that like button, and definitely reshare this amazing lit topic, y'all. And leave a positive comment down below, y'all. And let's get into it, y'all. Let's go. Before we get into it, y'all, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the clip. I'm going to let that run. And after that, I'm going to give y'all my input on it. You feel me, y'all? And then we're going to break it down. Because I watched it so many times. I heard feedback from other people. But honestly, I'm going to give my deep opinion on it. Not what other people said. Not what's posted. Throw it out the way. And I'm going to give y'all my real opinion on it. I'm not saying what other people are saying or what they're posting. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, y'all got to realize that people, when they have situations like this and it's in their hands, y'all, they can go days and days and days to add their own stuff, to say whatever they want to do, but they don't even know these people to begin with. They don't know these people to begin with. They don't know the PTSDs. They don't know none of that, you know. So they just go based off what's there and they use it and they try to build on it, or they try to reuse it in a way and reword it in a way, and that's basically how things go. But let's watch the clip and let's get into it, y'all.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my God! What the What the
Dramatic video purportedly shows the moment an ICE agent fatally opened fire on a woman in Minneapolis, who DHS says attempted to barrel her SUV into the path of an officer. As multiple angles of the incident have emerged and gone viral across the internet, users are left divided on whether or not the agent's actions were reckless or in self-defense. In the footage, ICE officers order the driver out of the vehicle after she blocked the path of their truck. But as one of the agents attempts to open the door, she quickly throws the car into reverse before trying to speed forward in the direction of another agent in her path.
So basically, first and foremost, you know, rest in peace to that lady. You know, even though I did not know her personally, I can honestly understand how deep, you know, this hurt leads to not just her family, her friends, but a lot of people around the world. Because I realized that Minneapolis is not just a city alone that's known for this type of situations. Like, look back at the George Floyd situation, how that occurred. And that was in Minneapolis, you know? So, but this time it's, you know, with law enforcement. There's no difference. It's just the name. So when I look at these factors, y'all, of course, you know, I'm not going to be biased. Of course, there's a lot of law broken. You know, what I seen, of course, I don't know what led to that woman's car being there as a barricader or what happened, but I seen the vehicle there, you know, and of course, if you're blocking a law enforcement car, of course they're going to react, and there's a lot of laws being broken there, as I could see from both sides, you know, because one, you got the car there as a barrier, then you got the woman, you know, fleeing from law enforcement, you know, because if they have reasonable grounds that you're breaking the law, you know, fleeing is definitely one of the biggest things that's occurs to breaking the law. But when I look at the other factor of the officer using his gun now to kill that woman, when I look at the deeper factor here, I thought in this world that officers were given tasers. Why couldn't he use a taser instead of taking that woman's life away? I understand that she used her car as a barrier. I understand that she almost ran over an agent. I understand that she was fleeing from the scene. But why couldn't pepper spray or why couldn't a taser be used so she at least has a life? Because she died young. And I believe she was 37. So when I look at these factors, you know, a lot of BS that I heard was, oh, the officer must have had PTSD, so the way he reacted is from a situation that he'd been a part of already. You know, other factors that I heard of, oh, one officer had his arm in the window, so she could have dragged that officer. You know, so there's a lot of things going on. And also you question from the woman's point of view, why did she use her own vehicle as a barrier to block a law enforcement car? You know? So there's a lot of factors into it, and the reason why I always go back to, if we weren't present, why do we feel the need to put ourselves so high to the point we start talking negative about, you know, in a law enforcement or this woman, you know? And that's the biggest problem that this world has, is until you put yourself in that situation, you will only know how it feels to be attacked. Not just on the good side of things, but also bad side of things. And it's a lot of problems going on in this world where it's just like, you're not always there, but you rely on what people are saying. You rely on what's being posted. You rely on video. Because at the end of the day, if that video did not have any audio and people are just looking at, you know, actions, I guarantee you what they're going to say, oh, The people who are supporting honesty are going to say, oh, that was self-defense. Or the people who are going to defend the woman, that's going to say, oh, why couldn't the officers use a taser or pepper spray? You know, just so she has a life. We don't know what was going on in her mind, and we don't know what was going on in that officer's mind and the other agent's mind. And how did that vehicle get to that point where it's becoming a barrier for the other agency car to go through to do whatever they got to do? You know, there's a lot going on. Never in this world we thought we would have an agency named ISIS that is known just for deporting people and just God knows what their laws are, you know? So there's a lot going on, and obviously the right people are also going to do what they got to do to get the real facts and not just go based off what a lot of outlets are saying and just people who aren't part of outlets who are just speaking based off videos, based off what they heard and all that. You know, at the end of the day, it's like you got to put yourself in that situation and deeply think. How would you feel? Deeply think. Based off that whole entire video, could things really be handled differently? Because mind you, this is not the first time a situation with law enforcement has happened in that city. And when we look back at all these situations, do we really have the deep true facts of how it all began? Because I only seen parts of that clip and I only watched it so many times to realize, how did it even get to this point? I know a lot of people have hate towards, ISIS, that law enforcement agency, because of what they're doing. But also remember, there's someone in charge for them. My heart definitely breaks for that woman, because you got to put yourself in that situation. You may not know what's going through her mind. You may not know what's going through those officers' mind. But there's so much wrongs on both sides, y'all. Whether you want to accept it or not accept it, there's so much wrongs. And through the entire thing, someone lost their life. And those officers said, it's not going to be our life, then we got to do something. I understand that they put law enforcement in this world to serve and protect. I understand that there's certain law enforcement who go against what they made a promise to when they were sworn in. I know there's a lot of officers who put racism on the table. They won't tell you. You just gotta look out for the words. You gotta look out for their action and body language. But then we got citizens like us that go way beyond the measure for law, and we start breaking a lot of laws because we think we got the power to do that. Or we start thinking differently and not use our voice and say that this is what we've been going through. This is why we acted this way. Because once a life is taken, y'all, you can't go back and undo it. Life continues to go forward without you. No matter if you lose an arm, no matter whatever it is that happens, life continues to go forward. So my opinion throughout this entire thing, 2 wrongs don't make it right. 2 wrongs don't make it right. So I hope that, from this entire thing, y'all, that maybe there is justice, maybe there's not justice. But at the end of the day, we can't keep putting ourselves in a position where we see these situations and we think, oh, we're going to put ourselves at the higher position to say whatever, do whatever, act the way we want to act, and not think, oh, what if this ever happens to us? How are we going to feel when the world's attacking us in a lot of ways? So you got to think, positively in this world, that a lot of situations occur, but it's how we handle them throughout the end of the day that's going to show our true character as people. But other than that, y'all, I'm going to close off, this topic for tonight. Make sure you comment down below what y'all think of the entire, clip and situation. And, most definitely, give this video a like. share this video. And if you're a new watcher, please subscribe, y'all. And other than that, see y'all next Friday. Keep safe, stay blessed. Happy Friday, y'all. Yes, sir. I'm out.
Not your scars, you are not your pain. You did not deserve the hurt that comes in a relationship with that blade. I've been praying you see who you are, cause you are a star, it's all in your name. I know that it's hard, but you gon' be good, God promised me when I pray. I've been praying and talking to God, I really been